Let me ask you this. If someone asked about your family in English, would you say only, "They're nice"? That feels too small, right? Family is more than nice. Family is love, support, sometimes even arguments. And in English, the words you choose can show all of that. In today's episode of Learn English podcast, you'll discover real vocabulary to describe your family with color, detail, and true personality, so your English feels alive, warm, and real. In the United States, when people talk about family, they often share little details, not just the basic facts. At a barbecue, at Thanksgiving dinner, or even during a casual chat at work, someone might ask, "What's your dad like?" Or, "How would you describe your sister?" That's why vocabulary matters. One very natural word is supportive. Supportive means always ready to help, cheering for you like at a baseball game, or giving advice when you start a new job. For example, my mom is supportive. She always calls me before an interview to wish me luck. Quick check. Think about one person in your family. Are they supportive? Can you picture a moment when they encouraged you? Another useful word is reliable, or you can also say dependable. Reliable means you can count on this person, the way you can count on your best friend to pick you up from the airport on time. You might say, "My brother is dependable. If he promises to help me move, he shows up with his truck." Families are not perfect. Many Americans describe someone as stubborn. You could also say headstrong or set in their ways. Stubborn means they don't like to change their opinion, maybe about politics or even about which pizza place is the best in town. My grandfather is stubborn. He still refuses to use a smartphone. The opposite is flexible or adaptable. Flexible means open to change, willing to try new things. For example, my aunt is adaptable. She moved to another state for work and quickly made new friends. Now pause for a moment. Who in your family is flexible, and who is stubborn? Try to say one sentence out loud. These words make your English sound real. Instead of saying, "My dad is nice," you can say, "My dad is supportive, dependable, but sometimes a little stubborn." That's how Americans describe family, with color, detail, and personality. In many American families, traditions are built around everyday habits. One common phrase is Sunday dinner. Sunday dinner means the whole family comes together, usually at a parent's or grandparent's house, to share a big meal. You might say, "Every Sunday my family gathers for dinner, and my mom cooks her famous roast chicken." Dinner here is not just food, it is connection, laughter, and stories at the table. Another important phrase is holiday gathering. Americans often travel long distances for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or the 4th of July. A holiday gathering is more than a party, it is a reunion. You can say, "Our holiday gatherings are loud, full of cousins, games, and sometimes heated debates about football." Notice how this vocabulary captures not just the event, but the feeling. Question for you. Does your family have a holiday gathering? How would you describe it in English? Now let's talk about chores. Chores are small jobs around the house, like doing the dishes, vacuuming, or mowing the lawn. In American families, parents often teach responsibility by giving kids chores. For example, when I was a teenager, my chore was taking out the trash every Wednesday night. Another useful phrase is share the chores. This means everyone helps, not only one person. You might say, "In my family, we share the chores. My dad cooks, my mom does laundry, and I clean the kitchen." Try this now. Think of one chore you had to do as a kid. Say it in English. These words, Sunday dinner, holiday gathering, chores, help you describe not only who your family is, but also how they live together. They show daily life, traditions, and the rhythm of family in the U.S. In the U.S., when people describe their family, they often talk about feelings and the kind of bond they share. One powerful word is close-knit, or you can say tight-knit. Close-knit means the family stays very connected. They talk often. They support each other in good times and in hard times. For example, "My family is close-knit. We text every day and never miss a birthday." But not every family is the same. Some people describe their family as distant or detached. Distant means they don't talk often. Maybe they live far away, or maybe the emotional connection is weaker. You can hear someone say, "I love my parents, but we are a bit distant. We only see each other once or twice a year." Another useful word is overprotective. Sometimes people also say controlling. Overprotective parents worry too much. They try to control every decision. For example, "My mom was overprotective when I was a teenager. She always wanted to know where I was and who I was with." It shows love, but sometimes it feels heavy. On the other side, many Americans value being independent or self-reliant. Independent means you make your own choices, live on your own, and take responsibility. For instance, I became independent when I moved out at 18 and paid my own rent. This word is very common in American culture because independence is seen as a sign of maturity. Let's reflect. Would you call your family close-knit, distant, or independent? Say one sentence about it right now. And of course, the word supportive comes back here, but we can also say encouraging. A supportive family celebrates your success, but also stands with you when life gets hard. Imagine saying, "Even when I failed my first business, my family was encouraging. They reminded me not to give up." That sentence carries strength, hope, and inspiration. So, whether your family is close-knit or distant, overprotective or independent, the important thing is this. Learning these words gives you the power to share your real story in English. And every story, even the imperfect ones, helps you connect with others. Because when you open your heart, you also open the door to deeper conversations. And that is where true English learning happens. Now it's your turn. Take one family member in your life, maybe your mom, your dad, or a sibling, and describe them using at least 2 new words from today's episode. For example, instead of saying, "My brother is nice," you can say, "My brother is dependable and sometimes a little headstrong." That sounds more natural, more real. Here's another challenge. Think about your family as a whole. Would you call your family close-knit, distant, or independent? Try to make one complete sentence. For example, "My family is tight-knit. We always have Sunday dinner together." Don't worry about being perfect. The goal is not grammar. The goal is expression. Every time you try, you make your English stronger. Every time you describe real people with real feelings, you connect more deeply to the language. So take 1 minute after this podcast, write 2 or 3 sentences, and read them out loud. That small action is how English becomes part of your daily life. Today you learned more than just family words. You learned how to make your English sound alive. We explored vocabulary for personality, for habits and traditions, and for emotions and relationships. Words like supportive, dependable, stubborn, flexible, close-knit, distant, overprotective, and independent. These are not just words on a page. They are tools to tell your story, to describe the people you love, and to connect with others in a natural way. Remember, English grows strongest when you use it to talk about real life. So keep practicing, keep adding color to your sentences, and don't be afraid to share your truth. Every time you speak, you become more confident, more fluent, and more connected. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who is also learning English. Practicing together makes the journey easier and more fun. And next time, we will talk about friendship. We'll explore how to describe different kinds of friends, how to talk about loyalty and trust, and even how to handle friendship challenges. So stay tuned, keep practicing, and never forget, every conversation is a chance to improve. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode of Learn English Podcast.